More and more men are choosing to leave their first world country for marriage and love abroad. Why? Why are women and monkeys upset that men are getting passports and leaving? I've been watching RP content with men traveling abroad for love, and women are furious. Let's talk about it. These men leaving and calling the metaphiles upset some monkey sims. I was shocked by the hatred these men were receiving. Men leaving should indicate a larger issue that blue-pilled land is not discussing. But since we're RP, we know it's because men are sick and tired of how they're treated in dating and relationships and by modern women in general. Women have disrespected and put down men for too long. Even innocent men have been divorced and had their money and children stolen. Many men have finessed for food and favors only to get ghosted or nothing from women, while another man got to rearrange her guts. Due to women raising their standards and pursuing top-tier men, many men no longer meet their standards. These poor conditions, constant disrespect, and beatdown of modern men have driven men away from women in the West because they realize they're getting nothing from them. And now they're choosing to check out abroad for love, or at least they believe it will get better treatment and overall better quality women. Modern women started competing for top-tier men by abandoning average men. The woman is a movement, hookup culture, and the death of marriages, stable families, relationships, and female virginity have driven men away. Men now want alternatives to love. Men are traveling abroad more than ever because of the unfair family court system that punishes men and the left updating minefield, which benefits women and puts average men at a significant disadvantage of taking the worst of the worst women or, in the case of the incel virgins, being unable to find a mate. Men just leave an unfair situation to succeed elsewhere. Finished. Women would object because they want these men as backups in case they don't win the lottery and marry a rich man. In detail, women are furious because the more men leave, the fewer options they'll have, especially in the world's wealthiest nation. Most American women can't easily find a man who makes as much as the average American man abroad. They know they have few money-making options abroad. This is why they hate it when men leave to get foreign women, because it means they have less control over their men's wallets, and fewer men will be available to save them when they're tired of the CCE and want to settle down. If women go to Jamaica to find men, they'll likely play a sugar mama role and use these men for romance. Most women wouldn't travel to third world countries for love and advancement like men, because those men can't afford to care for foreign women in their first world lifestyle. Some women do find husbands in poor countries and bring them home, but few do. Men don't complain when women travel abroad to get beaten or find a husband. When a man does the same, chaos ensues. Women have traveled to poor countries for decades to find husbands and hard salami. Nobody complained about women leaving men. Occasionally, you'll find articles. Men didn't fight for women's return. But if a man wants to be free or leads with his wallet, society will punish him for not doing what women want. Have you noticed that the men going their own way movement from 2 years ago and the Save Yourself Black Men movement are similar? Women cut disc videos and shamed men for leaving the plantation to keep their options in wealthy men. It's good that men don't care what women and tampon-wearing men think. Men are leaving and telling other men they can go abroad for love. This leads us to today, where men are finding out that women abroad actually treat them better than the women in their first world countries. And some are even choosing to marry these women and start their families overseas. I always advise going where you're wanted rather than tolerated. Men who leave their mistreated wives in the West and move to the East where traditionalism is more prevalent. I see no issue. Because it's their life, these men should be free. They're not hurting anyone or making life harder for the women they choose in those countries. Many foreign men have improved the lives of those women and their families. So I believe these men should be able to do what they want, just like foreign women. I lived in a third world country, so I know how that I'm here to give you passport brothers advice because you don't realize what these women can do. I could tell you how fit, feminine, and cooperative third world women, especially Eastern ones, are compared to Western women. That's known. Men go there mainly for that. However, few discuss these women's danger. They're similar to Western women. Men flee for better treatment. Most men, especially blue pillars, are clueless about women and don't understand their nature. My disappointment is with the RP guys who read this content and still go to these countries to find a wife. You guys think third world women are superior. Female nature, like male and human nature, is universal. For instance, you don't travel to a country where people don't act like humans and share your values. So womanism-infested and third world women are the same. Remember that all women on earth are the same, knowing that you can choose to take them seriously as your children's mother or your wife. Now, I'm not going to lie. I will be biased towards staying single because I don't believe now is the time for men to take on dead weight at all. Before I tell you the truth, I'll never support relationships. I'm telling you right away. However, you must realize that third world women have access to social media and womanism. You treat these women like idiots. You're being fooled. See, those women know the time when you land on their soil. They allow you to run game on them because they know if they can get you to be with them, they'll hit the jackpot and get out of their situation. Remember that modern women choose. Men don't realize that these women treat them better because they're from a first world country. That sums it up. These women know that if they treat those men well, they will likely marry or support them when they leave. They'll pamper you and romance you. But it is an attempt to lock you down and get your resources for themselves. They're not better. Women know how badly you'll treat them, so they manipulate men strategically. They need to do the opposite, and they'll succeed. I'm talking about how these women treat their own men. You'll realize their men are treated differently than in your country. Because of government support, these women must be traditional. They need men to survive. So keep your men. Western women, especially Americans, don't need men because the government is their daddy. Because they have support outside of men, they treat you like crap. When women say they don't need a man, it's only because they have the government to help them or take resources from men. Thanks for subscribing, guys. Thank you for helping us reach 1,000 subscribers before December. I'll post there soon. Blessings, gentlemen. If you don't believe me, people will tell you to leave the women in their third world country. Because women will adapt and often turn on you and stab you in the back under the influence of society's women. What about the notion that women in those countries are not tramps and 3/4s? You're wrong again. There are street women everywhere. Women are reckless with their bodies everywhere except in remote villages or mountains. Men never consider this risk of dating foreign women. You wouldn't know these women are massive 3/4s because you don't know anyone who knows her past. Men travel abroad to find trophy wives but end up with prostitutes and ghetto daggers. Some of these women have children by multiple men and are married or in a relationship by the time you get her, but she won't tell you and her family won't tell you because they want to get rid of her. Men don't know these things and jump headfirst into a committed relationship with 3 all-4s thinking they're getting a good deal when they're not. I'm here to discuss these issues because I've known married women who slept with foreigners to get a green card. Sometimes the husband or boyfriend allows the one who wants to sleep with foreigners to get extra money to support their family and a green card so the wife can divorce her new husband and live in a first world country with her previous husband. If that was bad, her brother is often her husband. He's letting you beat his wife while you support him and the family. Asian women often do this. You sucker for love ninjas don't know how fine these women will pull on you. We know that most foreign women want first world men to support them and get a green card and citizenship, like my aunt and cousin. My ex-girlfriend in the US considered doing the same. Be vigilant. And to top it all off, when you guys inevitably leave that country to go back to work, your companion gave her cheeks to a foreigner to get the same benefits, or she gave the cheeks to a local while you're thinking about her and sending her money. This is reality. So that's why I don't advise anybody to wipe up foreign women. They're worse than your country's women because they're money-driven. As always, desperate people are dangerous, so beware, brothers. Can it work for some of you guys who want love and relationships abroad? You'll have to flip a coin to see. Will you risk being used or finessed to get a decent woman? You decide, but I wouldn't. Like the ex in your country, they're bloodsuckers. Only some will treat you better because they have to lock you up. Finished. But you suckers for love ninjas and hope strategists who disregard everything I said will have only yourselves to blame. Part 1 of this video shows men seeking love abroad and unhappy women. To help us, please watch this video. Please subscribe and send this video to anybody you think will benefit from it the most.